Hello fellow duelists and collectors. Today I'm going to be showing you my combo deck of Malefics and Meklords. So the reason I created this deck is because it's supposed to be just a powerhouse, big attack, big game type of deck. And it is really just for fun in general. I don't think it could actually qualify for competitive use. But just for you guys' enjoyment's sake, I'll show it to you. So 3 Malefic Truth Dragons. He is the highest printed attack of the Malefics and has a shared highest printed attack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards in general. 5,000 is the maximum printed so far. As far as I know, it should not be higher than that. So 3 of him, because there's a lot of Malefics in the deck, by the way. Malefic Rainbow Dragon and Rainbow Dragon, because it has a very high printed attack. And also in this deck, I would really recommend having 3 Malefic Cyber End Dragons because it's really good and I would use it if I had it, but I don't have it and it's also too costly to use. So we're going without for this style, sadly. Okay, 3 Malefic Blue Eyes and the Blue Eyes that go with them. So the reason that I have 3 Malefic Blue Eyes is mainly just because it's good to have a Blue Eyes in the grave if you use Monster Reborn or something to get it back, but also they're just another high attack Malefic that can be very useful and easy to summon, so it's nice. And then we have a Dark End Dragon because the majority of the monsters in this deck that you use are dark. So that's always useful for dark deck in my opinion. 2 MEKLORD Emperor Weissel. Weissel has the highest printed attack of the MEKLORD Emperors at 2,500. And the reason Meklords work in this deck is because they special summon from a monster's destruction, not a Meklord monster, any monster. So they're very useful to have for that reason. And they could be staples in any deck, but I like using them in this deck. Anyway, 2 Malefic Stardust Dragons because it's just another like decent attack Malefic monster that I have, which they would easily have been replaced with Cyber End, Malefic Cyber End, but since I don't have it, I'm using them. 2 MEKLORD Emperor Skeel. He actually is the only one I would recommend 2 of. I have 3 of the other guys. I should have put 3 in, but that's fine. It's not a big deal. MEKLORD Emperor Skeel, though, has 2,200, which is the lower printed base attack. And he does the same thing where he special summons off a monster's destruction. So he's not that bad. I would recommend him. He's good for this type of style deck. 2 Malefic Parallel Gear because mainly just to summon Malefic Paradox Dragon because you like going for big plays in this deck and that's one of the big plays you go for. So 2 of him, not 3. And then 3 MEKLORD Emperor Grinnell. The reason I run 3 of him is because his attack becomes equal to half of your life points or your opponent's. I'm pretty sure it's yours. Yeah, your own life points. So it's if you bring it out in an early game, your life points are 8,000. Its attack becomes 4,000. So that's an instant 4,000 beat stick, and that's really insane. Also, he has the same effect as the other Meklords, which is special summon off a monster's destruction. So if you use Dark Hole to destroy your own monster, this could be amazing first turn. Him, Dark Hole, any Malefic monster with Malefic World would be incredible. Okay, so Malefic World. The base Malefic card that is pretty much essential for a Malefic deck. It lets you add a Malefic to your hand once per in your draw phase instead of drawing. And also it is needed. You need a field spell on the field for the Malefics to survive. So that's why it's there. Pretty much that's why you need 3. 2 limiter removal because let's say if you're doubling the attack of the machines, which are ideally you would have the Malefic Cyber Ends, which would be machines. So they're 4,000, they would go to 8,000. And then you have the other Meklords, which are 2,500, would go to 5,000. 2,200 would go to 4,400. And then if you had Grinnell at 4,000, it would go to 8,000. So that's pretty awesome. And then you have Different Dimension Reincarnation, which is fairly essential for a Malefic deck. It will bring back the monsters that you banished from your Malefic summoning. So that's always decent to have. 2 Terraforming for getting Malefic World. Also, it thins out the deck, so I think it's a good card to have. And recommend it. You need Malefic World generally as early as possible in the duel. The dark holes are to clear the field if you need to, but mainly to destroy your own monsters to bring out the MEKLORDs. So they're good. A monster reborn because you can bring back any monster from the grave, and like sometimes your higher attack monsters will be in the grave, like a Blue Eyes, so that works out, or your opponent's cards. It's always good. Chaos Infinity is probably the best card. Sorry, for MEKLORDs. It is just a very helpful preventative card that will be a good defense for them. I wouldn't use any other MEKLORD spell or traps though. Black Horn of Heaven, I think is underrated. I just like it because free negation of a summon. So good card to have, decent card to use. Starlight Road, because since this deck has Malefic Stardust for the time being, this is here as long as Malefic Stardust is here to help yourself not get decimated. But this would also theoretically be switched out for Malefic Cyberend Dragon. And then you have Compulsory Evacuation Device, Staple Trap. And then for the extra deck, you just have the standard Malefic Paradox Dragons, as well as the Stardusts you need to summon the Malefic Stardusts. And that is going to be it for this deck profile, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this weird little combo deck. If you'd like to see more like this, please subscribe. And if you like this video, please give me a like. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.